My name is Jimmy Edwards. I'm circuit judge in the state of Missouri. My primary responsibility is the juvenile court in the city of St. Louis. I've been a judge now for nearly 18 years. There's a small percentage of children that have made bad choices, and therein is the problem. Bad choices is a result of dysfunctionality in the family. There are three primary pathways to delinquency. The first pathway to delinquency is a lack of adult supervision. That's a result of parents oftentimes being mentally ill, drug addicted, in jail, or just simply too young to parent. The second pathway to delinquency is too much idle time. I know that most offenses in the city of St. Louis occur between 3:30 in the afternoon and 9:30 at night when children are out of school. And the last pathway to delinquency is economic constraints. Our children want what they see on television. They want what other children have. Oftentimes, they do not have the lawful means of obtaining those items. Any two of those pathways, in any combination, will oftentimes land a children in the juvenile detention facility. Now, recidivism is not necessarily a problem in the city of St. Louis. I know that most kids come into our system at about 12 and a half years old, and they desist or they leave the system at about 15 years old. Most of those children do not recidivate. Dysfunctionality is the biggest problem. Family dysfunctionality. All things that children learn or all things that children are about is learned. And oftentimes the behavior that the children that I see those behaviors have been taught to them in a negative way. So they have spent most of their lives learning wrong, unlawful, and negative things. Our job here at the court is to rehabilitate children, and what we try to do is we try to redirect their behavior so that those children are learning more positive types of behaviors. I think that the father's presence in a child's life is very, very important, however, not critical. I have unfortunately not seen very many fathers in the detention facility. For example, just last year, our court handled about 10,000 hearings. We saw less than 20 dads at those hearings. Mothers have done a tremendous job of raising children. Raising children is not necessarily about the biological parent, but just simply an adult in the child's life. I mean, there are plenty of adults that are substituting as fathers. For example, basketball coaches, football coaches, track coaches, tutors and teachers, preachers and others have oftentimes come and they have replaced the biological dad in a meaningful way. Because all children really need is an adult in their lives to redirect and to ensure that that idle time is taken care of. The absentee mom has become a major problem just recently. Unfortunately, I'm finding more and more mothers that are going to prison. And that's horrible because I think that the nurturing that mothers provide for young children is critical to where they will be as teenagers and young adults. Again, however, those mothers are being replaced by that psychological parent, the auntie, the grandmother, the cousin, and simply the neighbor. Again, so long as children have the opportunity to learn from adults, they have the opportunity to be nurtured by adults, that's all that's really necessary. Well, certainly that's one of the major problems that I have with children. Again, when parents are not present in the home, and that whole dysfunctionality is a result in part of drug use. When parents are drug addicted, they don't have the ability to control their children. Certainly, they're not supervising their children. In many instances, they don't have the means to provide for their children. And as a result, the children find themselves having to provide for themselves. And again, oftentimes, it is done in an unlawful way.